So I am recording. Day 2 of Gen Con 2024 continues on, and sadly, I am over at Mighty Board's exhibit area. Not sad to be over at the Mighty Board's exhibit area, but it is very small, very tight. There's a lot of product here, so we aren't able to shoot a video. But I have an opportunity to chat with Eveline Foubert from Mighty Boards. We're going to talk about a few of their games because I'm familiar with the company, but I haven't taken a peek at anything since your association with Greenbrier Games came to an end.
Right, a while ago.
Yes, a long time ago.
Last
Last thing I reviewed from Mighty Boards would have been the Vengeance game, which was pretty wild. You still sell that, don't you?
Well, Vengeance is actually completely out of stock, completely out of
Is
print.
it?
However, we had done a Vengeance Roll and Fight, which was a lighter version
Yes.
of the actual Vengeance combat system. So that one we did 3 years ago, I think, by now.
Okay.
And this combat system that people really loved has now actually evolved into a combat system that is used in Fateforge. So it's all from the same designer, from Gordon Kalea. And Vengeance was competitive, as you know, and now we made it into a cooperative system. So you will recognize it still uses the same kind of dice, right? So you will still have those skill combos, so you will still have that action-packed combat of the Vengeance system. But now it's in a fantasy setting, so it also allows for a lot more, imagination when you're playing and all of that. So that's what happened.
Do we get any montage scenes? Because that was the thing in
Montage
Vengeance.
there is not,
right?
but there's still the idea where you could slide into a room, this time you just take your bow and arrow and shoot someone's head off. It still exists, yeah, it's still in there.
So let's dig a little deeper into Fateforge. Chronicle of Kaan
Yes.
with 2 A's.
Correct.
And it is a good sized box here.
Yep.
And it looks like you actually are building the board as you explore.
So,
You're like, no, dummy, that's not it.
let me start from the start. Now, the idea for Fateforge actually is that we really like campaign games, but we don't have the time or the table space to leave them set up.
Right.
Right? So we decided, you know what if we just make our own campaign game, which is what we did. Gordon did it with pleasure, but also with a lot of regret, because it took him 3 years to make this thing a reality. But now we came to the point where we're very happy with what it became, right? So it's a dungeon crawler that is actually really accessible, which means it's a game that, unlike those big ones, you get to play in sessions of 1 hour, and you can play longer if you want, and packs up super easily back into that box. So it actually comes in a beautiful storage system. So every time you would play, you just take up your hero box where you left off, put it back in, all the tokens go in a storage system. Everything is neatly organized to help you start the game. The second thing we decided is we added an app for it. So why did we do that? Because there's a lot of bookkeeping to be done in one of these games, and it really helps you run through the story. So what it does is basically it acts like your GM, right? It just runs the game for you and remembers everything. Why is this important? Because the game has so many choices, not just in the story, but even if you win or lose a combat, it will just remember and move on the story. So there's actually 4 different endings in the game. So depending on what you do, it could be like one group is running different combats than another one. So you can play it again, for example, make different choices and see what happens, right? The fun little extra we're doing right now is we're actually recording the endings of the app till the end of the year, and the ending that is reached the most will actually influence the world at a later stage. So that's a fun little extra bit. So like any dungeon crawler, you have a story part. The story part is based in an existing RPG world from Studio Agathe, so that's Fateforge. So they already worked on this world for like 8 years by now, so there's a lot of lore, a lot of things that we could work with, so we brought the action into that world. And then the other thing, like I already said, the Vengeance combat system, so there's that, right? That's the combat part of it, so it's a little bit of like a dice puzzly cooperative way to fight through the dens. And the third part is we added map exploration, because we were playing it and we still felt like, okay, people are still not really getting to know the city like we feel that they should. So what we did is we have an actual hand-illustrated map that is a bit of a micro-macro feel, because you will have to find details on the map, you will have to walk through the streets, and that's also where the app comes in. So the app will ask you, do you want to go east, north, so it really drags you in, into the map.
So obviously it does sound you must have the app to play.
Yes, you need to have the app to play. Exactly. So that is Fateforge by itself. It already comes with 2 expansions by now. So the first expansion came out with the base game back then, which adds another hero, which is based on me. Fun fact.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I can show you. I mean, you can't see it on your.
Right.
But that's me.
The likeness is uncanny.
It's uncanny.
Actually, it is a pretty good
It
one.
actually is, right? Yeah.
Don't
But
worry,
so-
gang. I'll shoot some B-roll footage. You'll get to see this stuff.
There you go. There you go. So yeah, but like each expansion adds like 9 hours more of campaign. It adds like new tiles, new enemies, so you get to play a lot more. The newest expansion will come out in October, November for America this year. What will happen there is you get to play with pet companions. So you will have like an extra pet board next to your
there you
hero
go.
board. You can roll an extra pet die. They have their own special abilities.
Everyone loves their companions.
Exactly. So that's the newest expansion that will come out for Fateforge.
And then you also have Rebirth from Reiner Knizia.
Exactly. So Rebirth is currently our bestseller, doing really, really well. Because it's one of these games that you get to explain in 4 minutes, and then you play for an hour, but it's pretty thinky in how you place your tiles.
Right.
So for people that don't know, so Rebirth is set in a future Scotland where you're going to rebuild the lands, right? So the idea is that each player will just have a set of tiles that can have 3 different icons. So food farms, energy farms, or settlements, which are like little houses. So based on the tile that you pick, there will be places on the map where you can place these tiles. And everything depends on where you place them, right? So if you just place one tile, it's 1 point. If you manage to make a cluster of certain tiles, if it's 5 of them, you will score 5 points. Where you place these things is important because on the map you have spots for castles and you want to create like dominance around these castles to claim that spot in your color. If you have the castle at the end of the game, you manage to keep it, it's 5 points per castle, right? So while it's a very peaceful game of recreating the lands, there's also a little bit of dominance going on in it. On top of that, there's also cathedrals. So the first time you would place your tile next to a cathedral, you place your little cathedrals tile. They're like little stackable reboot, by the way, tokens. That will grant you a card. And these cards are like private objectives that will score you extra points at the end of the game. So that's basically it.
Okay.
Right? So it's quite easy to learn, to play, and it's up to you how to play it. It also has 2 sides. So one side is Scotland, the other side is Ireland, which is a little bit more an advanced version.
Okay.
So there, the difference is that you will have public objectives instead of private ones, and you will have special towers instead of cathedrals that grant you different abilities. Like, for example, you get to look at some of your tiles, or you get to place double, or things like this. Yeah. So it plays in about an hour, something like that. Yeah, it's a pretty good game.
Well,
yeah.
you just said it's your top seller right
Yeah,
now.
exactly. It's doing really well. Even here at Gen Con, it's doing pretty well. Yeah.
So let's finish up with a game that I think probably most people are aware of Mighty Boards with, and it is Art Society. And I
Yeah.
know it is won various different awards. A lot of folks out there really like it.
Yeah.
How about you tell me a little bit about that?
All right, so Art Society, so at this point, yeah, it's an older game of ours, right? It came out 2 years ago, I think, at this point. So in Art Society, each player will have their own art gallery, and you're going to try to fill that gallery with as many paintings and decor tiles as possible to build like a beautiful full wall, right? So how do you do that? There will be 4 different types of paintings in the game. So you have portraits, still life, cityscapes, and objects. I just said still lifes. Cityscapes and naturescapes, that's the one. Thank you, brain. And you also have 4 different types of frames, right? So you have a silver one, a golden one, a wooden one, and this one, whatever you call it. Anyway, so what you need to remember in the game is that if you place 2 of the same type, so for example a portrait next to a portrait, that's considered a faux pas. So in the art world, that's looked down upon. Exactly, like who would put that on their wall, right?
I understand that, French.
There you go. However, if you do manage to match frames, that will score you decor points. And the decor tiles are worth points at the end of the game, right?
Okay, yeah.
So, how do you get these paintings? In the beginning, so players will each have their set of bidding pads. So there will be an auction. So you always put an amount of paintings in the middle of the table, and then knowing that the highest bidding number will grant you first pick of the paintings on the table, you're going to have to secretly pick a number.
Sure.
Once the number you pick is chosen, it's gone, so you have to keep that in mind, obviously, for later rounds. And then you get to place your painting. So it's a bit of a... It's cozy, right? Because you're like focused on your wall. You can make it competitive, obviously, because in the auction you could take
I was going to
paintings
say, there's
away.
the bidding mechanic, right?
Exactly.
You're going to take things from other people if they want.
And the thing is, from the auction, there will always be one painting extra left over that will be sent to the museum. Now, the painting that is sent to the museum, they have values on the back of them. So, for example, let's say if the portraits go up 6, that means like all the red portrait paintings are now the most valuable on the board, right? So during the game, it's going to influence.
Right.
And then at the end of the game, like the most valuable painting, for example, if it's the blue one, the cityscapes, will be worth 5 points. So every blue cityscape painting you have on your board is worth 5 points.
Sure.
So that's Art Society in
So
short.
so you're also trying to manipulate the scoring to the
A
game
little bit,
too.
yeah,
So
a little bit.
that
You
your
all have
gallery
that
is
power.
going to
Yeah, you all
score
have
the
that power.
most.
So it's a really cozy one, but it can be competitive. It's how you play, really, right? The cute thing about it is that obviously it looks nice and it has
Yes.
116 different paintings in it.
Right.
They were all illustrated by 6 different artists. And a lot of them, almost 80% of them, are actually parodies on existing art.
Yes.
Yeah. So, like obviously on the box cover already, you can see a few of them.
Yes.
But it's a fun thing for people to find out if they recognize some of the stuff.
Sure.
Now the cool thing about this is we have a Kickstarter coming.
Oh, do you
We
now?
do.
It is a good idea. Good reason I asked you about Art Society.
Correct. So yeah, so the Kickstarter is coming in September.
Okay.
And we're launching a deluxe version of the base game and an expansion.
Okay.
So the deluxe version is, think literally deluxe. So it's not like going to be an upgrade kit for the game. It's going to be a massive deluxe version. So the box is also going to be bigger, almost like a Fateforge size box.
Okay.
It's going to like flop open. I
Right.
don't know what the word is. Like this, and the
Like it-
insert is going to slide out.
Right.
Exactly.
Okay.
So
Oh,
it's going
wow.
to get like upgraded storage solutions. So it's going to because it's going to get a lid, for example. The decor tiles will have their own little sections where they can go.
Okay.
All of the paintings will be upgraded. So like the silver will be silver foil, the gold will be gold. There will be 3D components for like the scoring markers
Okay.
and stuff. The hammer, obviously, the auctioneer gavel will be an actual
little gavel.
Exactly. So think big like that. And then we have a new expansion. So this expansion will be like for people, if you want to keep this game, that's fine. You can just get the expansion as well. It will just fit with that.
Right.
And the expansion will be influencing a little bit the strategy on how you play. So, for example, you will have abilities that you can get during the game that will help you during the game. You will have certain points you can score extra if you manage to reach a certain objective. So basically it's a set of cards, right? So there will be a whole set of cards. You have to influence the socialite, the art critic. So it comes with 3 different strategy things you can focus on. I'm sorry,
Okay.
this is a very vague description. That is just the end of the day. I'm tired. But anyway, we will release all the details closer to the Kickstarter, so
Well,
don't worry.
as long as you send me the news, I will certainly share that with my audience.
I will, exactly. But it's going to be called Friends in High Places. So it stays very much, obviously, in the society
Yes.
world. But yeah, so that's an exciting first thing that's coming. And then we have a whole lot more coming.
So, Eveline, is there any final thoughts you'd like to share with the audience about Mighty Boards?
Well, so for Mighty Boards, we are quite excited, let's say, at the point where we get now, right? So for us, we're from Malta, which is a tiny island in the south of Europe. So it was not easy, right, to start making a presence on US soil. And we feel like we're finally getting to a point where we are, right? Because in the beginning, we all made our own games, but like recently, obviously, with Art Society and Rebirth, we get more and more designers coming to us as well that want to work with us.
Sure.
And I can already tell you, we have some interesting ones coming. We have David Gordon, we have Jonathan Gilmore, we have some things that I can't say yet.
Of course.
But I can tease. We have we're in talks with like David Thompson, Bruno Catala, Fabio Lopiano. So we're very excited about what else is coming next. So I think people should, keep an eye on us.
So next year, your exhibit area will be twice as big.
This is what I hope. This is what I hope. But yeah, exactly. We do have a lot of games in the demo area though, so people can go play there.
Okay.
But yeah, this is just for showcasing the
Fantastic.
games.
Eveline, thank you so much for taking time out from a jam-packed booth
Yeah.
here at Gen Con. Enjoy the show.
Thank you very much. You too.